Africa has got to be free.
Bag that you see right now they're searching is basically full of money, so there's no money being counted at this point. But what we heard earlier on from advocates in Msibi is that he was saying that this is basically the money that is made by giving these illegal licensing, and of course they are yet to find out why an official is carrying so much money, and that of course is going to be counted. But we are hearing that there are a lot of issues that they're currently dealing with, and including a driving license school that has come to register on behalf of some of the people that were not there in the licensing. So more arrests taking place as well outside. We understand that there's some of the people that had left. So we have seen some of them being called in because they need to speak to what is taking place in this area. We've also seen them looking inside the cars, and this is where this money that you see was discovered in the car. So that's being counted currently, so that they make sure that when they're taken back to when they're taken to the police station and they need their items back, it doesn't seem like they had lost money. Of course, now I'm going to speak to a person who is currently arrested. You'll just hear the voice fully because obviously we're not allowed to show them. Baba, kuthiwa la nikhona kunenkinga ye-corruption nabantu ababhalayo la bengafanele babhale. Njengoba uboshiwe wena baba, uzizwa kanjani wena ucorrupt?
Mama, ayikho corrupt lenas anyinzi class lenas. I'm not sure. Akitsi ni sika class lenas.
Manje bathi bakubophelana.
Azange bangichazele ukuthi ngiyenze. Angichazela manix.
Manje njani ukuthuka njengoba beyibophela nje baba?
Because ngimama bambambe nje angabangitshelanga ukuthi ngiyenze.
Greetings, everyone. I hope you are fine. I hope you are doing well. In South Africa, corruption is on another level, and it's no longer funny. But here's the thing. I'm not saying this because I want people to look bad at South Africa, just like what the system is doing, because the system will always talk bad about certain countries because they want to take advantage of those countries. Like for an example, Africa is a victim because people who are living in other continents will always be told that everything about Africa is bad, Africa is corrupt, Africa is like a jungle. But that's not the truth, or it's not entirely true. But I'm not like that. Whenever I talk about these issues, it's because we need to hold one another accountable, because as black people right now, we have a problem. It's like right now we are addicted to this thing of corruption. So when they say we are corrupt, or when we say we are corrupt, it's not a lie, because right now we can see that indeed this thing of being corrupt is not stopping. Instead of stopping, is moving forward. That is why I'm like, when it comes to corruption here in South Africa, we are on another level. I made another video where I was talking about traffic department. I was talking about corruption in general, but I was like, traffic department takes the cup when it comes to corruption. Not traffic department as such, but people who are working for traffic department, because they are taking advantage of the people. Because you get a learner's license, then after getting a learner's license, now you need to get a driver's license. So they make it difficult for you to get this driver's license. They make it difficult, or I can say they make it impossible. Because unless you give them something, you will never pass your driver's license. You can pass a learner's license. You can pass a learner's license. But when it comes to driver's license, it's totally difficult to impossible to pass it unless you give them something. Look at how much money was on the table there. But right now they have moved to another level. In other words, they have upgraded their own corruption. In other words, right now they're like, you don't have to like even write a learner's. In other words, you should not get a learner's license by yourself. We can get it for you, but you need to pay. So who are the people who are paying? Are those people who will always fail the learner's license? Because you have to understand that the system is very cruel. Sometimes they can even make it difficult for you to pass. They can even make it difficult for you to pass. So that is why they make sure that it's not just a walk in a park for you to write a learner's license and even pass it just like that. So that is why they use huge or big terminologies so that it can be difficult for you to pass it. So there are those people who can never pass a learner's license no matter what. So now they are taking advantage of those people. They're taking advantage of those people in order to upgrade their corruption. So now they are like, no, there's no need for you to come and write for learner's license because you'll keep on failing it. Sometimes even if you can pass it, since they've upgraded this system, even if you can say, okay, I can pass it by myself, they will try by all means to make you fail so that they can come up with an excuse. To the point whereby you will say, I don't have any other choice but to do what other people are doing. So these days, you no longer need to write a learner's license. You no longer need to know anything about these signs, the road signs, the traffic rules, and etc., etc. And you don't even need to go for a driver's license testing. Just imagine, how can this person be a good driver if he or she didn't go for a learner's license, didn't even go for a driver's testing? How will this person become a competent driver? Some people may come up with their own reasons that these people, they already know how to drive and etc., or driving can be easy as long as you have this license. But who to blame when it comes to this? Who to blame when it comes to this? The unethical employees who are working for traffic department. All over South Africa is the same thing. All over South Africa is the same thing. They make it difficult for you to pass. You can go, for an example, you can pass your learner's license like nobody's business. And you go for testing. You drive very well without making errors. But the traffic officer who's testing you on that day, most likely they will demand a bribe, irregardless of how you were driving, or maybe you were good on your test or during your test, but they will require their own share, their own percentage. So that is why many people right now are fed up. They're like, there's no need for us to go there because these people, they are going to, like, they will still look for money. So there's no need for me to do all these things, to start the process to the end. So the only thing that I can do is just to do whatever they want us to do. So what they want people to do right now is like, don't worry about whatever. We will do everything by ourselves. But at the end of the day, you will get a legal license, because the license that they will give you at the end of the day is not like a fake driver's license. No, it's not a fake. It's the original driver's license. But you get it without going through the right processes, without following the right procedure. It's happening. Look at that money. The problem that we have here in South Africa is greed. We have a problem of greed. We have a problem of jealousy. In other words, we want more. We want more. As black people, we have to hold one another accountable. But doesn't mean in order for us to hold one another accountable, we have to bring apartheid system. Because every time when we talk like this, when we talk about our challenges, our problems, then people will bring the topic of apartheid because they want to prove that apartheid was better, or they want to talk good about the apartheid system. We can still hold one another accountable, criticize one another constructively, so without bringing the topic about apartheid, because sometimes people are like tired of us talking about the apartheid system. But the problem is that the reason we end up talking about the apartheid system is because every time whenever we will hold one another accountable, many people will bring apartheid matter into the topic. And that's the problem. But let me just come back to this problem of corruption. We have to admit that we have a problem of corruption, and we have to hold one another accountable. We don't have leaders. And the people that we put in these positions who are working for these departments as traffic officers and so forth, these people don't even deserve to be there. These people don't even deserve to be there, because some of these people, they got their job through corruption, and now they want to pay a revenge as well, because since they got into those positions through bribe, they have to make other people to pay as well. This is what is happening. This is the context of what is happening. So in South Africa, it becomes difficult for you to get something legally. So that is why many people right now are involved in corruption. Should I blame these people who have been caught? I can say yes or no. Yes or no. Yes, because we need to hold one another accountable. No, because we have a problem of unethical employees, corrupt traffic officers, who make it difficult for people to pass their driver's licenses without any problem. They will make sure that they create a problem until you are like, you know what? Let me just give these people whatever they want. So all these people who are involved in bribing these police officers or traffic officers is because they are tired. They are tired of following the legal way. So that is why I'm like, I have yes or no to say yes, we need to hold one another accountable. But at the same time, I can say no, because not because I'm promoting corruption, because we have the problem in these departments. And this problem can only be fixed by good leadership within government. Because if you are a whistleblower, you are like, you know what, let me report these people. Let me talk about these issues. Your life becomes in danger, and they will make sure that people will ignore whatever you are saying. So that at the end of the day, other people may think that you are just mad. You don't know what you are talking about. But the truth of the matter is that 99.999%, without exaggerating, all over South Africa, traffic departments are like this. You can never get a driver's license without giving them something. In other words, it will take, I don't know what kind of grace. Maybe you have to be tested by a new traffic officer who is not used to this, or who is still scared, or who is still afraid to express himself or herself to the fullest at that time. That's when maybe you can, you see. But the truth of the matter is, in most cases, it's completely difficult. The corruption in traffic department takes the cup. You see, when it comes to other departments, you can get whatever you want, maybe legally 50% of the things, maybe you can. But when it comes to traffic department, you can only get 1% of the things legally. 99% of the things that you want from the traffic department, you have to give them something. But as I come to the end of this video, I would like to say, black people are disappointing me. And whenever I talk about this, then people will write in a comment section and say, I'm against black people. Some will say South Africa is a superpower. Some will just get out of the topic because they want to discourage me. But the most important thing is that we as black people, we need to hold one another accountable. And again, our government, yes, is corrupt. We need a better government. We need a better leadership. I don't know what you think about this, because if you are a South African, probably you understand very well what I'm talking about. Probably you've been through the same thing as well. You gave them something in order for you to get a driver's license, because I know that 99.999% of the people who got their driver's licenses here in South Africa, they went through the same process. I don't know, but I just want to say thank you very much for taking your precious time to watch this video.